I'm reading from Deuteronomy chapter 10, beginning at verse 12. It says, "And now, O Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you, but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve the Lord with your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to observe the Lord's commands and decrees that I am giving you today for your own good. To the Lord your God belong the heavens, even the highest heavens, the earth, and everything in it. Yet the Lord set his affection on your forefathers and loved them, and he chose you, their descendants, above the nations, as it is today. Circumcise your hearts, therefore, and do not be stiff-necked any longer. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow and loves the alien, giving him food and clothing. And you are to love those who are aliens, for you yourselves were aliens in Egypt. Fear the Lord your God and serve him. Hold fast to him and take your oaths in his name. He is your praise. He is your God, who performed for you those great and awesome wonders you saw with your own eyes. Your forefathers who went down into Egypt were 70 in all, and now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars in the sky." Moses is encouraging the Israelites as he is about to die and they are about to go into the promised land, to remember that the Lord that they serve, the God that they serve, is the God of all gods. Now, this doesn't mean that there are actually other gods. What this means is that all of those things that we put up there in place of God, or hold up as idols, or things that we value, they are nothing in comparison to the one true God who is mighty and awesome. He is above everything that we could ever imagine. And so this loving God, this God of all gods, this God who is greater than anything else, this Lord of all lords, chose them. He chose them and he loved them, and he did marvelous and mighty things on their behalf. And this same God has done that for you and for me. He has given us all that we could ever need in Christ. He took upon himself the role of coming to us, of giving of his Son for you and me, because of his love for us. And what do we do out of love and adoration and devotion back to him? We love him with all of our heart and with all of our soul, and we obey his commands because he has shown us such great love and mercy. He truly is the God of all gods and Lord of all lords, the King of all kings. There's no one like Jehovah God that we serve. And I pray today that you would understand that we would understand that to a greater degree than we've ever known it before. The song I want to sing for you today is called God of All Gods. He is the one true God. He's above everything else, yet he chose to give his life for you and for me. That is truly the great God, the God above all gods. This is God of all gods. He who sprinkled stars in heaven could do anything that he pleased, and he formed the highest mountains, is the God of all that was and is to be. Yet he chose to make his son a helpless baby to become a willing sacrifice. His love unfolded right before our eyes. All along he knew that Jesus had to die. He's the God of all gods. He's the King of all kings. He's the great and mighty maker of all things. And yet this God of all gods and Lord of all lords chose to give his son for you and me. What a great God of all is he. He was moved by mercy and compassion, only as a father's heart could be. This Lord could see our desperation, yet we never even knew we had a need. Though he's the ruler of all ages, he bestowed the gift of his own blood. And who could comprehend this Lord of all would pay this priceless gift of love? He's the God of all gods, the King of all kings. He's the great and mighty maker of all things. Yet this God of all gods and Lord of all lords chose to give his son for you and me. What a great God of all is he. Oh, his power is untold. What compassion we behold. No greater love has any other shown. What a great God of all is he. He's the God of all gods. He's the King of all kings. He's the great and mighty maker of all things. And yet this God of all gods and Lord of all lords chose to give his son for you and me. What a great God of all, a great God of all, a great God.